Pushing all the buttons. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while. Let me make sure I'm going on Facebook. Looks like I am. Alright, cool. One last thing. Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I'm DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, and I have been gone for a while. I've been on vacation for 2 of the past 3 weeks. And when I have not been on vacation, I've been basically getting things caught up from being on vacation. So you probably know more about what's going on than I am, if I am being honest, which I endeavor to be. Put on this new stuff. Oh, that's better. So I'm a little behind on the loop, but I do have some sense of what news is coming, and I can talk a little bit about that a little bit later on here. I can also mention that we did our first raid test of the new raid on Lamania last week. I hear it was kind of quiet. That may be our fault for not getting the word out enough. And we got some nice peeps in group with us. So, my intention today, because I'm on Sarlona, and this is a character that's got some past lives, and I kind of at least know how to play. I don't entirely suck at this one. I kind of want to give a Reaper a shot, so I think I'm going to do that. And we'll have to see how it goes. And if we all crash and burn, then I guess I'll stop and do something else. Alright, oh, hey, I got all my twists of fate to deal with on this character, but I am not going to deal with it right now, so I guess we'll just have to roll with what I got. Let us start with Reaper 3. If we can do Reaper 3, then we can up it, but we'll see if we can do Reaper 3. Alright, okay. Howdy, Cordovan and all. Hello, JFBN, Druid's Fire. It's true, I've been on vacation. There you go. Hey, dude, how's it going? I never unmute the mic, Druid's Fire. I have no idea what you mean.
Waits for you here.
Oh, hey, Joanna on Facebook. Nice to see you.
She can help you contact Lucien Vaughn.
So it kind of is looking like I'm probably going to be one of the main healers here, since I don't see any other cleric or what have you. I can get a Garrett, that'll help us in that regard. But I will probably have to stay back a bit and just kind of use my mass cures on y'all to keep you alive. That means we need a kind of a frontline person to poke aggro. Who wants that role?
I can carry them, but I won't live.
Hey, we're doing Reaper because people said that we can do it, so let's do it. Yeah, group goes quiet, right? Alright.
I am heavily based on sneak attack, so...
Elizabeth tells you to take the elevator up to the terrace.
Yeah, that makes sense. The road would not be the one to take point on that.
Pass along some information about the Stormreach beacon. A violent explosion
Someone had
shatters the
mentioned, let
tranquility
me
of the boarding
comment
house
on that,
and
because
reduces
you're
the
right.
elevator to
A
a
person
smoking room.
on,
You'll have to find another way up to the terrace.
I can't remember if it was
The
YouTube or
windows
what.
shatter, and
Someone
agile
said,
forms
can we just pick a
swarm in
day
from
to
sky
do,
coaches
like,
outside.
our
boarding
restarts?
house is
And
under
the
an
answer is,
all-out attack.
sorry. Yes. I recognize that this is something that we should endeavor to be a little bit better at. But, there you go. Perhaps you should wait for me. Oh, come on, where's my...
Thank you.
I've got a res, I just don't know what I did with that. Okay, cool. Ah. Okay. So, I don't know why we did our restart today rather than yesterday. What can I say? All right, let's release. We'll try it again. We'll lower it by level of Reaper here. This time everyone's got to stick together here. Lay down some CC. Try not to pull too much aggro.
Well, that one room's all aggroed at once. Ever since the AI changed, you can't even pull one mob at a time anymore.
I don't know, I just saw it. I have to admit, I am not going to blame the game on this one. We were at fault. Alright. As a matter of fact, let me hit that airship quick too. Actually, nah, my airship buffs are fine. I do need to get my spell points back. There we go. How do I have? It's been a while since I played this character, but it looks like I do not have my broccoli and bacon. Okay. No, I must. All right. Go EE. I wanted to try Reaper here. I want to give it a shot. I know this character is run Reaper. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. Let's see if we can get a coordinated group here for the live stream. Do we plan on overhauling, quote, Druid and Artie pets over the next year or two? I don't know that I would say a big overhaul on pets is on our agenda. It's something that comes up. I just don't know that it's made the prioritization area. All right, come on back in if you're ready. So what can I clue you in on as to what's going on? I would imagine we will pretty soon have another preview of the new raid. That's going to be, I would assume, happen. Like I said, there wasn't much feedback last time. We didn't get a lot of participation on Lamontia last week, but we're working on it. This weekend on bonuses, I see double commendations of Valar. I would remind people to check. We do have special sales going on in July here, so we got some exceptional kind of stuff on sale. Up to like 75% off all month long. So if you don't normally keep an eye on sales, you might want to keep an eye on this one. We've got the live patch for the raid coming up probably sooner rather than later.
Tremont waits for you here, atop one of Sharn's lofty towers. She can help you contact Lucien Vaughn. Isabet tells you to take the elevator up to the terrace, then speak to Lucien Vaughn. Her employer wants you to pass along some information about the Stormreach beacon. You enter the boarding house, an island of quiet in the hustle and bustle of the city. A genial halfling nods to you from behind the front desk. A violent explosion shatters the tranquility of the boarding house and reduces the
Hey, Foley,
elevator
stay
to a
back.
smoking ruin.
Yeah.
You'll have to
Don't
find
pull
another
everyone.
way up to the terrace. The windows shatter, and agile forms swarm in from sky coaches outside. The boarding house is under an all-out attack.
The entire room aggro's at once, Jerry.
Not when I've played it. I mean, okay. It's not so much a matter of aggro, it's a matter of waiting until we are prepared for CC so we can do things like fascinate all these peeps, then take them out one at a time. That's more what I'm talking about. Yep. Heck, I could even coup de grace them, because I got them coup de grace. Ah, thank you. Alright. Go. Coupe de Grace. What's a Coupe de Grace? That's some kind of car? Yep.
I thought the Coupe de Grace was Jesus' car.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. That would make sense. Yeah. Alright, same thing.
This looks more like an office than a boarding house. Vaughn has rented this entire operation and transformed it into his place of business.
No, not yet. Sorry. If we can drag these dudes down, do it. I don't know if I've got... oh, I do have quick. Just for this quest here, let me just pop that stuff to always on. Alright, that'll help. I don't know what my concentration check is, but we are on Reaper, so it would not be a bad idea to just bypass the whole thing. Alright. Hey, there we go. That's good. Good stuff. So, one interesting thing about Reaper, and I'm not really ready to talk more about it because it's still in a fairly conceptual state, but there's been some discussions recently about, you know, some ways we could make Reaper more fun. And some of those ideas, I think, have gotten out to the Players' Council at this point. Like I say, it's very conceptual, you know, more than something we're really ready to share, but we might have some more information soon, and that would be kind of exciting. Like I said, overall, it's there's some interesting ideas there, and we'll see how, where it makes it through the process. But pretty cool. Thank you.
No problem.
I don't know that we've really wanted to... the idea of having, say, Slayer areas with Reaper sounds fairly easy on paper, but I think would be very difficult in practice for the following reason, and that is that Wilderness Tech tends to use different underlying tech than a lot of other kind of... the quest tech that would be used to do Reaper. So I have a feeling it would be a very big project to sort of expand Reaper difficulty into Wilderness, perhaps more so than the value we might get from it. But never say never on that stuff. You don't know. Could be. So the thing is, they're enemies, right? Not every enemy is supposed to be a cakewalk, right? If you wanna, if spiders explode and you know they're gonna explode, well, maybe you should do something about it. Just saying, there are options. Like die. My preferred option, in general.
Rubble blocks the elevator shaft, as well as the nearby door.
No, we have not
We
used
won't be
a
getting
single
up to the
Sybaris here.
terrace this way.
I'm not entirely opposed to doing it, as I think you're commenting on. But, no, not in this case. It's been Sybaris free, I'm pretty sure. I have needed a few reses, but I think someone in the group is taking care of that. I don't know what you mean. Is that an option or the default, though, Cordovan? Do you mean in regard to... not sitting next to an exploding thing? I would say that is default. Right. Ah, thanks, Mateo. Oh, dying. Yes, dying with me is probably default. So it's default of me. That's what it is. It's all my default. This doesn't look good.
Yeah, he'll track you all the way back past the shrine. That was a one-hit kill there. Well, at least you're next to the shrine, Gary.
Yeah.
On the tower seems to have ended. Now to head to the terrace and learn what became of Lucy and Vaunt.
I don't suppose that there isn't a way that the experience report could show how many times people died without having to die.
The figure on the sky coach ahead matches
What
the
do you mean?
description of Lucy and Vaunt. He seems unruffled by the attack.
That's the old system.
You've died a few times, but I don't see that. It shows me as a flawless victory because, you know, I haven't died.
Yeah, working as intended. The flawless is supposed to be...
Yeah, I figured it'd be a lot of work in order to change that.
Hey, plus, why would we want to? No, well, so Ruckjack, I am not spoiling the content of the raid here, and if people didn't really check it out in Lamania, I'm going to leave that a secret for now, in terms of what's going on there.
I have a message for you,
says Vaunt.
Yeah, Dustin, this is DDO.
Belongs to me now. I paid the Boromar clan good money to get it, after all. Don't think for a moment that you can challenge me in my city. You're just setting yourself up for a fall.
Vaunt's companion makes a gesture, and the terrace collapses beneath you.
So I have not done daily dice on this server, so let me do that real quick. Just in case I get that live stream luck. Nope. I'll take it though. Alright, there you go. See, I made it mad by mentioning something. Well, that seemed to go pretty well. Why don't we keep going on R2 here?
Sounds like a plan.
You step into Zell Crossfire's tidy office. The Inquisitive calls
Yeah,
out to you.
Varsh.
Step
I don't know
inside
what level
quickly.
of
There are
that Pale
eyes
Masterwork has made
everywhere.
it out to the public. Like I said, I've been gone 2 of the last 3 weeks. But we have said that we plan to work on it, and that is starting to come to fruition. So.
Zelith pulls a switch and nods toward
Yep,
the back of the
because
building.
I know
You hear the
that
scrape of
too, at least
stone on
some
stone
earlier
as a
version
concealed
of that,
back door
I think
slides
made it
open.
to the Players' Council early June-ish? Early mid-June-ish?
You walk out into
So,
the streets of Cogsgate.
that should be
Towers
coming here pretty
loom
soon
high
too.
above,
And I know that
so
there's one
tall they block
really
out
kind of
the
big
night
thing
sky.
that we're not
Anyone who
going to
knows
talk
what's good for
about.
them will stay indoors tonight. A rain of blood has fallen here,
So,
and it's up to you to mop up the mess.
you know.
Despite the slurred words, you've learned more about
Sometime
the
soon
Dask
that'll
Boromar
happen.
rivalry from the
Oh,
Cormier.
hey, there is something
You
I
wonder
can
what
talk
the other
about. So,
residents of the
I
neighborhood
am
might have
on
to
the
say.
precipice of being able to announce our GenCon party plans. The main thing holding me back at this point is that I don't have a signed contract. And the person who's going to be doing the signing is on vacation. Well, is out of the office. I don't know what they're doing. But what that means for me practically is I can't really announce it without that in place. But we're getting pretty close to GenCon itself and the date of the party. So I'm going to just reiterate that this will be happening any day now. And we'll have information, but you want to set aside Friday, August 2nd, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. You don't need a GenCon badge to attend. But it is 21 plus.
The doors to the gambling hall are wide open and its chairs are empty. Though the nearby tables are still covered with
And
food
it'll be
drink.
near the convention
Looks like
center
the
in
customers left
downtown
in a hurry.
Indianapolis.
You find a crossbow bolt still lodged in the victim's side. You also notice several gashes on her palms. A chest full of coins was left here locked and untouched. This was no robbery. You can tell that there's more to this than meets the eye. Searching the gambling hall raised more questions
It's
about
gonna
the
be a good
murders
one.
than answers. As you turn to leave, you hear figures clamoring outside the building. The
Anyway, it's going to be a good
incriminating
one. So,
information in
I'm
this ledger
on the
would
cusp
fetch
of saying a
pretty
lot
price
more to
on
both
black
the Lord of the
market.
Rings Online and
You wonder
DDO
why the
community,
murderer would leave it
but
behind.
it's just waiting for a thing to get signed. So, thank you very much, Foley.
Problem?
Strike down the last of this group of Dask thugs.
I usually stay back and heal anyway.
No more nearby. Now to leave the way you came.
All right. The one that's going to be particularly tough is towards the end as we're rounding up people. So stick together as a bit of a tighter cluster here. I'm afraid we might pull too much aggro otherwise. Ooh, New York style pizza. That sounds good to me. I like me some New York style pizza. So I was in your neck of the woods here, Titan, not too long ago. When I was visiting my father, and I was able to check out some of the sites. Went to a cool kind of retro arcade bar. That was kind of neat. Got to hang out with the DDO gamer himself, Jeff Hanna, if you know who that is. That was cool too. But otherwise, it was all basically family. So. So that's what I did on vacation here. I've mostly just kind of been doing like I say,
You push open the door to the
a family-based vacation.
surprisingly
So my
well-decorated
son
rooms
and
show
everyone
signs
could
of
hang out with
struggle.
his
Your
grandpa
stomach
and
clenches
grandma
in
and all that sort of
anticipation as
thing.
you near the crime
And that's
scene.
really what I've been up to in recent weeks.
After examining the corpse, you can see that he was killed
It's a
by
good
a
time.
poisoned crossbow bolt. His last gambling ticket lies just out of reach. Felon had just won big, cleaning up on a match in an underground fighting ring down in the Cogs. Felon must have spent his recent winnings digging himself out of debt. Imagine meeting your end right after getting yourself clear. At least he died in the black. Despite clear attempts to make this look like a break-in, all of Felon's valuables are still in their
Cool.
proper places. As you
But
mull
yeah,
this
it's been
over,
been a
you
good
hear
time.
voices from the direction of the
I'm
front
back to
door.
work now and will be for a while. So, like I said, the next big announcement's going to be GenCon, but also stay tuned for a patch. and
Okay, I
we
can't
got-
get his bit blocked
got a
for some
raid
reason.
and some other good stuff. So, all right, who's talking to the Goblin? There we go.
Send you something Diplo and it still didn't get there.
Right. Good job,
Did
monster.
you insult his mom or something there, Jared?
Yeah, I don't know what it was exactly. I mean, I was trying to back off and do a fascinate,
You
but it just...
managed to make it past the desk thugs blocking your way. You've learned all you can about these first two crimes. You head back to the Wolf Gate, where Zeleth awaits your results. Zeleth
what else
unlocks
can
the
I
gate,
talk about?
revealing a small lane that burrows deeper
I don't know,
into
we
the
are
heart
on the edge of, like I
Cogs
say,
Gate.
a whole bunch of kind of news. And a patch that's going to have, you know, some cool new stuff in it, so... Ah, the new Pillmaster tree is on Legendary Forms. Good, good, good. Yeah, that's cool. That's great. Is that new? How many Reaper points do I have? Not very many. I don't think I've got more than... I've not played on Sarlona much since the Reaper was introduced, because Thelanis tends to be my main server these days. At least I was able to... Alright, rah! Tarlius, let me try to heal thee. Oh, I see. How many Reaper points do I have? Do I even have any Reaper points? Let's see. I have got 2,322 Reaper XP, so none, in other words. And I got just 1 point available. Yes, Ruckjack, so there will be more content in Sharn. We've already announced that our next adventure pack will take place in Sharn.
In her shop. A different body, but the same song.
But is not
Crossbow bolt dipped in
directly
poison
connected to
and palm
the
covered in
expansion.
slashes.
So you do not
Yet this
need
time a
the
new
expansion
detail catches
in order
your
to
eye.
run
A shattered
the new
cane bearing Bond
adventure pack when it
pyrotechnic
comes
symbol.
out.
A
It is going to be free to VIPs and available on the DDO store for everyone else, but it is not directly tied to the expansion itself.
No
So,
doubt they were hidden there so
and
they
that's
could be
next.
fenced on the black market later. The murderer could have emptied the pawn shop, and yet. only
Although I
Lord's
think the
lunch was
new
taken.
raid.
Armed with your findings,
coming on
wonder
first.
what connects all these gruesome crimes.
Maybe if I had the right hotbar. Keep on the Borderlands, I don't think is even being actively worked on
Last
right
of
now.
the
So we got
heavily
other
armed halfling thugs
stuff
falls.
that we're doing first, up to and including a new raid and adventure pack and all that. So we have announced that in the producer's letter, but actual
Another
development
hour
work on it,
stretches
I don't
before
think it's
you.
really
The
progressed.
more you learn about the victims, the more questions you have. You can only hope that
When is
Zell
Sharn going to be
Crossfire
available in the
holds the answers you've
store?
been
That is
seeking.
in the FAQ. What did we say? August, September, something like that? Not actually sure.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly, it was really general in the fall.
In the fall is what we said? Okay. Yeah, whatever we said is legally binding there, so I kind of want to just refer people to that. But
Thank you.
September. Okay, good. September is the answer. We said September.
If you see a spider, run.
Check a pot here.
Those things have no reflex save for some reason.
A tiefling stands before you, with a face you remember from your recent adventures.
Nice,
Despite your
Todd.
own shock at
I like
meeting
it.
him again, you hope that Zulkus is willing to answer your questions about the murders. Zulkus steps through a dimension door, his face glowing with the smug triumph of a man who thinks he's won, though you're too busy dealing with his troll bodyguard to notice. The troll topples, yet another casualty of this bloody night. Now,
I
to
would
meet up with
love
Zell.
Desert of Desolation. Nothing to announce. We can't pre-announce sales, but you know we do bring our autos and irresistible autos back regularly, so I would expect that to happen in the future here. Oh no, I've got all this cosmetic stuff to deal with. Get thee to a bank. So yeah, it has been pretty chill on the news front today. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about other than what I already have. Biggest thing I'm waiting for is GenCon, and that is any moment. So.
Zelith shakes her head.
If you
The
are
weight of
going
her
to
brother's
GenCon
betrayal
with your
settling
kids
over
or
her like
whatever
the
and
dirt that
can't
falls
get
in the
to a
streets from
21
above.
plus thing, let me
But you've
know
got
as
a
well.
job to
I am
finish.
pretty much always
Another
down
crime
to meet
scene waits
DDO.
for you in an alley
And
south.
I'm going to the area on quote official business here rather than kind of just my own time. So I'm happy in particular to just kind of hang out with people and stuff. And the best way you can get in touch with me and something like that would be through DDO on Twitter. Or through the forums. Actually, the forums is the best way. But if you're not a forum person, then DDO on Twitter. Oh, this is not an inventory management stream. This is nothing, man. I'm just getting started on inventory headaches. Yeah. Richard is trying to reestablish credentials. Make... Oh, it says if you're trying to log in on the, quote, account page, it depends what you're seeing with that. So,
More slashes on the palm.
it should be
This time, you see the
myiaccount.standingstonegames.com.
wonder how you could have
Make
missed such an
sure,
important
if you're
clue.
getting that error,
The slashes were
my
literally
guess
the killer's signature.
is you are looking at
Whoever
a
did this
CAPTCHA issue.
wasn't shy about
So
letting
make sure
people
you've
know.
don't have
He stooped
any,
down to
like,
search
say,
the
pop-up
contents of
blockers
Mayden's chest.
going on in your
Looks like
web
he was fleeing
browser.
for his life when the murderer got to him.
If you're
Find
using
the security
Chrome,
measure
try
involved in
Edge.
lost
If you're using
volcano
Edge, try
templates.
Chrome. If you're using
Quick
either of
glance
those, try
reveals that every
Firefox or
victim
Safari
had
or
worked for
something.
Vaughn.
Uh,
It's too big of a
my guess
coincidence
is
to overlook,
there is a
especially
CAPTCHA that's
since a
being
note in the
blocked, and
margin
that's why
talked about
you were
cleaning
not
up
successfully
loose
logged
ends. The secret
to
door slides open,
myaccount.standingstonegames.com.
revealing Oddly enough, she doesn't seem surprised to see you.
And if that's
Instead,
not it,
she
then the
motions
best help I
for you
could
to
really
come.
give would be to
That
suggest
letter
that
told
you
you
send
what
in
you
a
needed
ticket to
know.
us, and that
The
would be
victims all worked for Vaughn and were killed because they knew
help.standingstonegames.com.
too much about his operations down in the cogs. You strike down the last of the attackers.
Yeah, my mic might be a
Can't
bit
let
on the
these
low
petty thugs
side.
hold you back.
I didn't really
Not
do
when
a
you're
full
so
mic
close
check
to the
here.
truth.
Sorry.
You catch up with Zell.
This weekend's bonus, double accommodations of
She
Valor.
points you towards an alleyway northwest of where the Goblin was last seen.
Can I make a Raptor Dance? No. Get back here, you Raptor. No, I probably am just too quiet. It's probably me. I'll work on sound levels for next week. The reason I think it may be a CAPTCHA issue is it's not uncommon for us to see that. We're just using a basic reCAPTCHA plugin sort of thing,
A
but
familiar voice echoes from behind the
browsers
store.
in recent years seem
What part of
to
make it
have a
look
few
like
issues
an
with
accident
that. So.
didn't you understand? And leaving your signature behind was beyond stupid. Now Zealoth is onto
Uh-oh.
us.
Okay.
It's only a matter of time before
This is
she and those
it.
adventurers come barging in here.
Trap Central.
Alright, come inside. Yellow light.
Thankfully, those traps don't do that much damage until. I feel like my attack speed is low compared to what I'm used to on this character, so I may have something off. I also would have expect my damage to be a little bit higher than this.
Breathe a sigh of relief as the Goblin falls. You've sent the
I like that
murderer to
idea
his
about a
just
larger
reward.
guild chest.
But as you turn to confront Zolkis, the Goblin suddenly rises. Zolkis
There may be
quickly
an
casts a
engineering
dimension door. The tiefling and the
discussion to be
Goblin
had, but
disappear
that makes some
through it.
sense to me.
Zelith shakes her head. Sometimes it's a stranger who holds the knife. Sometimes it's family. I let
Ooh,
blood cloud
100
my
degrees
judgment,
in Georgia.
And I'll pay for that every day. But I'll keep going. I'll move on to the next crime and the next. You can't just stay inside when trouble rains down. Not even if it never stops.
There we go.
Nope, I just crunch it.
108 in Arizona. Eek. I'm definitely more like House Stark here. I'm an old Minnesota boy. All this heat, it makes me all cranky.
I'll take the winter any day of the week.
Yep, for sure. What can I get here? Yeah, I kind of want that.
Cordovan, can I ask you something about update 43?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm wondering here if there are any plans to add meta magics like maximize and empower to
Unfortunately, the last word I didn't catch. To add it to what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got confused. I was listening to the streaming and to myself, so it got really weird.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So my question is, because of the revamp of the epic placements, for instance, in Draconic Incarnation, the energy burst will now benefit from maximize and empower and intensity or something like that feats. So I'm wondering if Divine Wrath on the Exalted Angel Destiny will also benefit from those feats, and other feats that deal damage, epic feats such as Glacial Burst, because those are not scaling very well in epics as well. So and there was nothing about it. So I'm just wondering if they will also benefit from these feats now.
It's a good suggestion. Something I think that probably Steel Star and crew would have to look into. Maximize in particular, you're talking about a pretty big jump in effectiveness. So I think they would need to make sure that they weren't trivializing, let's say healing in particular in Reaper. But conceptually, I don't see why that would totally be an issue, right?
Gotta reset it, Gary. Yeah, because that's the thing I've noticed is that the old meta magics don't scale in epics.
Right. Well, I mean, they don't get higher, but if it's a 50% increase, it's a 50% increase.
Most of them don't do that, though.
What are you talking about? Maximize in particular.
This adventure,
So, like, Empower Spelling gives you a 75% and additional 15 spell points.
He'll give you an off-the-record tour.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good. I wouldn't take that.
Victor asked you to wait for him outside. Looks like
but yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think having that stuff universally apply to just kind of by default would certainly be not something I would be able to say, yes, we will do that. I suspect there would be some pretty big balance concerns, but assuming that they were able to work that out, like I said, conceptually, it seems all right.
Also, is there any plans to add evil resist into the game?
Nods at a flimsy-looking grate.
Evil resist? No.
Disappearing into the night. That must be all.
Yeah, because we have light absorption and light resist, but no light or evil resistance. Evil's about the only thing that we don't have a resistance for.
I found the ledger actually very fast. It's right here at the bottom of the event.
Well, technically, evil resist would be light. The opposite of light resist would be negative energy resist, which we do.
According to this ledger, all of the blueprints have been moved to the office upstairs for
Evil
shredding.
resist would be the opposite of good resist. I don't believe we have good resist either.
We have good DR, but we don't have anything to block the evil damage.
It's called armor class.
This alignment is bypasses.
Don't get hit.
Can't do that in the raid.
Anyway, I'm sorry to be so snarky, but the answer to your question is no, probably not, probably never. If we, just theoretically, if you were, and I'm kind of just talking off the top of my head here, if we were to do some kind of evil resist, how many evil mobs would that apply to all of a sudden? And then you just would have the most effective form of resistance currently in the game, probably.
So metal alignments are primarily our main form of DR right now. Other than that, it's elemental. So we do have a lot of good DR stuff right now.
Someone is burning the midnight oil behind this door, but the sturdy door is fitted with an even sturdier lock. You'll have to find another way.
Ruckjack, so Keith, I did not personally get to work with Keith Baker. My understanding is, that would have been Knockback, probably who spent the most time working with Keith Baker on the Sharn expansion, both for writing and voice work and whatever consultation. Of course, Rudy was there too, so both Rudy and Keith have been working on the new Eberron material together, so that worked out pretty good too. But in terms of the collaboration, I never saw him in the office or anything, so I don't know how that all worked. But
You hear a gruff voice
overall, I think it went okay.
A more measured voice responds. What of it? The excited gnome bounces around.
The roof is on fire!
An otherworldly air of confidence surrounds the handsome being, who appears to be their leader. Let's pick up the pace, shall we? We still have to destroy the lab downstairs. Portal, please. Why not just take the stairs? Asked the tiefling. Because Victor told us not to be seen. Now then, portal! Portal! Now! Snaps the being in a commanding tone. You hear a familiar voice somewhere nearby.
Yeah, protection from evil is as 3-5 essentially, which I recognize. Maybe doesn't fit all that great with the meta going on in DDO at the moment, but protection from evil does plus something to armor class and saves versus evil, something like that.
Or wherever those
Does it stack with shield? Am I correct about all that?
It,
A long time since I
protection from
thought
evil
about it.
cancels out command.
Oh, okay. Cool. It has a use then.
Other than that, it's really not useful.
That's pretty useful though.
Prototypes. It will make me completely invincible. Victor presses a button, and the sphere of force closes in around him.
Way over on Facebook, the idea of a cosmetic closet is something we would love to be able to do. I don't know when or if on that one, but yes, the idea of having a cosmetic closet would be very nice. And one I think that if we're in a position to do at some point, I think we would be happy to do so. There are some technical issues that are a pretty big, I wouldn't say blocker at this point, but certainly a challenge to making it a reality, which is getting some of the underlying tech that drives things to recognize our cosmetic system in a way that would allow us to do a specific cosmetic storage.
Victor clearly didn't think this through.
I'll just teleport away.
Victor tried to do just that. It seems Victor forgot about the dimensional anchor he put in place.
I mean, I think that's just one of numerous kind of challenges. Quickish is allowing for both, say, formal cosmetics and then things that could be glamour as well. I think that's one of the larger significant issues.
I'll get Jerry once he's off.
The issue is not where the storage would be. The issue is more of an underlying tech thing of how does the game know that it's cosmetic and then thus gate it to cosmetic storage, etc., etc., and how would you type that, let's say, for every item in the game, etc., etc. So there are challenges. There are challenges. I always have trouble finding this one.
Guys, follow me, please. Anywhere. Lobby's right. We need to go.
Okay.
Was
right.
Coolio. Ouch. Smack.
A familiar voice calls out up ahead. Time's up. Your golems will have to finish this. Time to move, people.
Are you kiting fully on purpose, or do you need some assistance?
Need some assistance. I got a wraith on me. I can't handle him.
Yep. Alright, if you are alive, get together with Flav and I. We are going to attack things singularly rather than one person per Forge Wraith. I think it's going to be a little while on the next class. I mean, we definitely, you know, I've got news to share, but just not yet. So. Cool.
I'm gonna take this in, Cordovan.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Take the soul. Lost soul, please.
The lost all for your mana.
That thing. Well, speaking of command, huh? Yeah.
Tactical detonation can only be stopped by save.
Yep. Well, that applies for us casting it, too. That's true. Yes, Wilbur Star. Oh, golly. All right. Well, I don't know. That was pretty rough.
Shrine's up.
Oh yeah, Quickish, you're correct. I know that there was something I was reading about on the forums that Flimsy was of the impression had made it into the quest from a structure perspective that did not. So I would expect to see probably a change list on that, a release note on that, probably within the next patch, I would think, depending on what happens here. Alright, work on the Famine Reaper here. It's a lot of deaths. I don't even want to look at this point. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But that's okay.
Only 21 deaths so far.
Alright, so if I see you at a different part of the map, you were in the wrong place. We should all be together.
Oh, she's just at the shrine.
Victor's treachery continues.
Ooh, is that a fire? Nobody goes in or out until we find them. Don't just stand there gawking. Move!
You hear the ominous hum of a dimensional anchor.
It's a pretty good death emote.
Putting a Reaper on the ramp.
Anyone want a shrine here for the end? Oh, watch it.
doing that.
Oh no.
It's a secret lab. After them!
Fear Reaper 5th.
Hissing, chilling chant comes from somewhere below.
Sorcery.
As this chant continues, force rates coalesce in the air around Victor. Panic screams and pounding feet indicate rapid losses. Victor yells,
Get back here, you cowards! These brutes aren't going to banish themselves!
What are the gates for allowing chat on the forums? Quickish wants to know. Now, there's some level I'm not getting into that because it involves anti-spam activity. But in general, if you create a forum account, create a game account, log into the game, log into the website, within a few days you should be able to post anywhere on the website that regular players can post. Until that point, you may be restricted to the free player advice, new player advice and guidance forums. But after you log into the website and log into the game, you should be generally able to do so after a couple of days. Yeah, my current state is just not gonna work. So. I'm just backing up for a bit. This is when unyielding sovereignty really comes into play as a useful thing.
All right, don't do anything rash. I'm coming out. Perhaps we can make a deal.
Victor presses the button on his font prototype.
Nope.
The magical barrier around him fades away.
Alright, so that is going to do it with this week's live stream here on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'll be back next week. Not going to be gone for a little while here, I don't think, so I should be with you for the foreseeable future. You're right, I am getting owned. Especially after those deaths started piling up. What I normally would have probably done is just take a 5-minute break, sort of let all that death and stuff wear out,
Thanks,
get myself resettled, and then head back in. But that did not happen, so that's fine. All right, I know Samus Garobo is going to be on right after I hit the old stop button here, so we'll get to that in just a second. Thanks very much for being here, and I'll see you next week.